start. A warm good afternoon to everyone joined here. I am Ms. Shravani Kavande
And I am Ms. Vishakha Kurjekar.
and we will be the host for today's webinar. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. What is a startup? Startups are an embodiment of the spirit of ambition, creativity, and boundless possibilities. These small seeds of innovation have the potential to grow into towering oaks of industry, reshaping economies and rewriting the rules of business. The startup journey is an exhilarating one, filled with challenges, risks, and rewards that have the power to not only transform the lives of the founders, but also leave an indelible mark on the world.
Today, we all joined here by one such entrepreneur who is an innovation
Now, from here onwards, you want to make them thousands to be lakhs and millions. Now, here is where you're just going to have the growth phase or the establishing phase. From stage 2 to stage 3, it's called as your scaling phase or the growth phase, right? Is this clear? I've given the link where you can get through the article about this, the stages of startup. Now I can go to the another version of the startup in stages with step 1, 2 up to step 7, which gives be split up in the context of funding or the commercial part. The step 1 is the idea, you got an idea, and step 2 is that you're just going to get the fund from friends, family, and angels. That's the funding, pre-seed funding stage. And here we call it as the stage 3 is called as the pre-seed startup phase. Now here you're just going to make an MVP, minimum viable product. From stage pre-seed, you're just going to go to the seed startup funnel from stage 3 to stage 4. Now here it's called as the seed startup stage. And from step 4 to step 5, we go to early stage startup. Now here is where we concerned about this thing. Now you may be here in step 2 or step 3, maybe in step 1, don't mind, but you will go through this particular step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now here, as this particular topic of interest, we concern about the early stage startup or maybe about your pre-stage startup. Am I clear? Is it clear? Am I audible? Am I visible and audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, you are audible. You are audible.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Like you can just interact me at any point. You can interrupt me at any point. Okay. So I don't see the chat window. If at all any chat, then Professor, you can just intimate me.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'll tell you.
Now here is the early stage startup. Now here you have 3 series. We call them the Series A, Series B, and Series C. We can apply for Series A funding, Series B funding, and Series C funding. And then from the early stage, you're just going into the growth phase. Like as I told you, from early to the growth, from 2 to 3, we are just going to go get this growth stage. And finally, we're going to go up the exit stage, what's called as the initial public offer. You go to make your company listed in the shares, and you're just going to give the shares for the public. So this stages will give you an idea about in the context of funding. Now, these are the types of funding rounds for your startup, and each round with what focus you need to concentrate on and what amount of funding you may be getting them. Now, given the link of this particular article here also as well for your address, for your guidance, and I'll just put that again in the chat window for you to be following, right? So here we are just going to look here. This is the pre-seed funding. So the first column is the funding round. The second column is the name of the funding. And each of these roles marks with what aspect we need to concentrate on. Now, as like it's told, like the stage of focus in the pre-seed is we need to concentrate only on the prototype or the minimum viable product. So we are concerned about proof of concept or the prototype. And the common elements of the growth you need to concentrate is you need to hire, you want to have a team, so which will be very good to make up the product at the right features and to roll it out at the right time. Have some kind of debugging kind of stuff and make your product intact. And you can expect the in the pre-seed funding you get up to 10K to $1 million. And in Series A funding, that's again is another early stage. Now we look on the revenue growth. We are just going to increase our revenue. We are just going to get more profits and gains. Now here we look into the developments, operations, branding and marketing, because branding is very key element that without branding and without your services available on a large scale, you will never be able to reach. Marketing is really a tough ask in all generations and all centuries. Right now with social media and kind of digital marketing, it's again getting the right product to the right customers is still a bit challenging. Now here in this Series A funding, you can get up to $10 million. And then next stage is your Series B funding. You go for the growth. Now here you go to get more people and you go to market expansion. You're expanding to pan India or the global access. You're just going to have an international presence. And you can just have mergers. You can buy another companies. And the mergers or acquisitions, you concentrate on Series B. And you get up to $50 to $25 million in the Series B funding. And coming to Series C funding, so that is your large scale expansion. You're just going to have exponential 10x, 20x, 30x, or 40x. Now, acquiring businesses, international markets penetrating approximately $50 million. This is the type of funding we expect. We need to be aware of what is pre-seed, Series A, Series B, and Series C. Fine. For reference, you can go through the link as well. And here we look into how the startup funding works, right? And these are some few glossaries with terms which you need to be proficient enough. Please go through these particular links and find out these particular terms of glossaries of terms, which will make more clarity of this thing.
So you're looking to turn your big idea into a company or raise money for your startup, but you don't exactly know how all of this works. In this video, we're going to explain everything you need to know about startup funding and how raising money for companies actually works. Let's set the stage. You have an idea. Well, you have lots of ideas. Most of them go nowhere. But one weekend, something does. An idea you've been playing around with turns out to be a really good idea. So you start building a prototype. A few weeks later, things are looking good. This could actually go somewhere. But you don't know what to do now. Your prototype works, sort of, but you need some money to rent a server, build your website, and actually take this idea somewhere. You need to raise money for your startup. Stage 1. Your prototype is a diamond in the rough, but it barely works and you need a little bit of cash to get going. This first stage of funding is the idea stage. Your expenses are the lowest at this stage, but so is your ability to raise money. In this round, you have 3 options: friends, family, and yourself. For this process, you won't be taking out any loans. All funding will be in exchange for equity, or part ownership of the company. At the very beginning, since the idea is yours, so is all the equity. You own 100% of your project. But as you raise more money in exchange for partial ownership, your percentage ownership of the company goes down. This is called dilution. Since your stage 1 expenses are smaller, website hosting, a server, business registration fees, and some money for marketing, your funding will be small as well. Between yourself, a couple of very nice friends, and your wealthy uncle, you manage to scrape together $10,000. To keep the math simple, all parties agree to invest $1 per share, and you agree to give away 10% ownership for their generous contributions. Since your first investors now own 10% of the company at a price of $10,000, that makes the other 90% worth $90,000, valuing the company at $100,000. This is your valuation, or the total value of your company as represented by the number.
So this is the first thing, like in the first episode, we have looked into the stage, and here is the term we need to understand this valuation. Valuation means like how many number of shares and what is the share price of each pool. If there are 3 investors, you are given them 10%, 10% and 15%, that is 35% is your valuation and 65 is yours. Fine.
Of outstanding shares multiplied by the market price of those shares. Stage 2.
Now, from the idea phase, you're going to the seed phase. The seed means, like, it's normal terms, you are putting a seed to germinate. Like the idea is you're just going to make it as a product and it's going to grow.
It's been a few months since your first round of investment. Your project has been hosted on a server, you got the website up and running, and your marketing is starting to pay off a bit as you have your first 100 users. Congrats! You see where this big idea is going, and it's time to make things happen. You need other programmers to help build more features. You need someone dedicated to the marketing and advertising. You need someone to help you make the product's design less generic. You need more money. Now that your idea has proof of concept in the form of users, you can go after real money from professional investors. Welcome to the seed stage. You are out pitching your idea to investors and chasing your first big investment into the company. You have two options: angel.
Now, the next term we will look in is about your pitching. For funding, no company will directly come to you to fund. You need to prepare your presentation. It's again a presentation. Later, I'll tell what are the items you need to concentrate on that pitch. We call them as the pitch deck of the presentation for funders. So here, in the next thing, we'll look at about your pitch and how to pitch to which investor. Yes, is it clear? Am I a bit fast? Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Going good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, okay, sir. It's very
or
interesting
seed
going with this, sir.
capital. Angel investors are usually single investors who invest their own money into companies. These people are usually successful founders or businessmen themselves and are looking to help fund the next big idea. Angel investors can be harder to get in contact with, but often will get involved with both their expertise and money in an idea they like. Seed capital investors are professional investors who invest other people's money into startups. These type of investors tend to be easier to find and can offer larger piles of cash. However, you are likely one of hundreds of investments for them, and you won't receive as much attention as with an angel investor. So, you talk with several seed capital firms. Some of them like your idea and some of them don't, but you don't get any traction right away. A connection of yours just happens to know someone who works at an angel investment office. This investor is a pretty big name. He made a fortune selling his own company many years ago, and now he has a meeting with you. You fly out to his office in San Francisco, confidently pitch the idea, and it goes okay. He asks you many questions, only some of which you have the answer for. You leave not knowing if you just blew your best chance. The next day, you get the call. The angel investor saw something in your presentation, and this company has a future. You have your first real investment. The angel invests $2.55 million into your company for a 17% stake. The angel's ownership doesn't come from existing shares. Rather, the company issues new shares to the angel in an amount equal to 17% of the company. Therefore, the percentage of the company you own is diluted, but the value of each share and the aggregate you own is increased.
So the idea is simple. You just give the proportionate share for the investor, right? So that is what you mean by dilution. Dilution means your share, others are contributing, and you give them a stake in the company.
Your company is now worth $15 million. Stage 3.
So from idea to seed, you're just going to go to the growth phase.
It's been 9 months since your seed round, and you are a busy CEO. You went on a hiring spree immediately after that fundraising, and now you have 11 other people working for you. The product is growing fast. You have almost 100,000 monthly active users, and you consider it a light day when you have to work only 12 hours straight. It's time to bring in some real rocket fuel and grow the company faster and bigger than ever before. It's time for the growth stage. In this stage, you are an established company with a live product, users, revenue, and employees. You're after the big investment money now. Enter venture capitalists. Venture capital investors are a bit like seed capital investors in that they are professionals who invest other people's money as a fund. These guys are tough, want big returns, and have big wallets. You spend a few weeks shopping around for the best investment and best partners, and you settle on the perfect venture capital firm for your company's niche. This round clocks in at a staggering $6 million for 8% of the company. You're now officially rich, and your company is valued at $75 million.
So $15 million to, 75 million, $25 million to $75 million. You're just going to expand 3 times. You're just going to have an expansion 3 times.
This investment round, the first after your seed round, is called the Series A. This isn't the first growth round you will raise, however. As long as you're a private company, you will most likely keep raising series funding every so often to keep the company growing, even if you are profitable. The name of the game during the growth stage is, well, growth. You go on to raise a Series B 6 months later, and an even larger Series C 5 months after that. Stage 4. It's been 3 years now since you started this little project. You've become a successful entrepreneur. You are worth hundreds of millions of dollars on paper. Everyone who came along with you has seen incredible returns too, and your business is flourishing. It's time for everyone involved to have the opportunity to cash in on their hard work, effort, and investment put in over the years. It's time for an exit. Welcome to stage 4, the exit. There are 2 routes, acquisition and IPO. In an acquisition, a larger company buys your company in the whole. The details can get complicated and vary by the deal, but usually the founder and investors will receive a mix of cash and stock from the acquiring company, with some form of a retainer placed on the founder to keep him from immediately leaving once the acquisition goes through. In an IPO, your company lists its shares on the public market, allowing anyone to buy and sell your shares. This is usually when most of your investors will cash out their investments in your company. You and your board of directors decide to IPO. You spend months going back and forth with investment bankers and your accountants poring over the details until the day finally arrives. Your little idea has grown through all 4 stages of investment into a true company. You have over 1,000 employees, make $300 million a year in revenue, have a couple million users of your product, and your company is being valued in the public markets at $3 billion. You, the CEO, own enough of the company to be considered a billionaire. the day of the IPO arrives.
So I'll come back. Having got an idea about the stages and fundings? Right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. And here is that, like, I've given some few links about the terms you to be very familiar with, and some tools which you think you might be useful for things. And now let me look to get you one report, the financial index report of the investments, like angel or the VC investments about startups. Is it visible? India's top 200
sir.
startups financial index report of 2023. I'll share that in the chat window as well. So this site, inc42.com, is a real good one-stop location where you get a lot of inputs about startups, the fundings, mergers, acquisitions, and the notifications upon the pitchings. Right. So this is the highlight for the year 2023. $19 billion is the aggregate revenue in the financial year 2022, of which there is a loss of $8 billion, and 20% of startups were positive in financial year 2022, and $3 billion are spent on advertising. And now that gives the name of the startup, the sector, and where it is headquartered, and its valuation, the market valuation, and the revenue range, and the total revenue range in 2022. Right. So this gives you a clue about which particular domains are creeping up, and which how much amount of things are available, kind of things. You can sort them by the sector, by the valuation range, adjusted growth rate, and profit rate making. This is that you can just go to get it by your profit makings, right? So here is, we have sorted it. So now you can just change the another sort by the revenue range. It gives the revenue range, first to last or last to first. You can do all these sorting here, and you can just like group, you can filter, all these things you can do with this. Right now here, like this gives a picture of what exact financial flow is there in the companies, right? So here you can just see a larger vision. So you can just get a larger vision from that particular link. Here it shows the year-on-year growth, expenditure growth, profit loss, etc. Everything about the company is being listed here. I'll just like show this particular link as well, and share this particular link as well in the right. So a brief about the real investment, what happens around link. Now here we look into the differences between angel and the venture capital, right? So what is an angel? What is a venture capital? Now this is from an Educuba site. Now angel investor is an individual from specific domain of their domain of interest, or their area of interest, or the scope of industry. And venture capital is a person, it's a group of persons, it's a group of people, they invest on resources. Like here, the difference is angel means it's kind of lesser terms. Lesser terms means lesser conditions, and angel means that it's much like a god, right? Now the equity is that a part of the stake is offered in angel, and equity is also involved in clear. It is written in very clear written forms, maybe a slightly higher percentage. And angel investors provides you a flexibility, and they provide monetary assistance around. Whereas in the venture capital, they give you all codes of actions in all walks and likes, like they give you resources and all key elements of the area. The risk is here. The thing is that generally in VCs, the VCs never let you to get lost. They give you backing up and support at any time. And due diligence is not guaranteed in the angel investors, and in VCs you get more of diligence. More specifically, it's much like the responsibility, majority of the responsibility is of a VC, that they have invested more on you and they want you to really make you to be successful. And I've given each one of them with more insights. You can follow them here. And now coming to the funding roadmap. Now here, these are the types of angels. On the right side, you can see like the first one, you can have individual angels, and you have your angel groups. Then you have your venture capital funds. Later, I'll show you each one of them. And you have your family offices and the corporate venturing units and the government programs and philanthropic organizations, crowdfunding, bootstrapping, and personal savings. You can go and get from any of these terms or maybe multiples of each one of them. Now here, what you need to do here is like you want to make your plan, you want to make your business plan, you want to make your commercials, you want to make your exit strategy, you want to tell about the risks and how you're unique from your customers and how you're just going to make money. What are the potential risks and benefits associated with each one of them, and how you're just going to mitigate the risk if at all you have. And here you want to have a team and you want to have a solid track record. You should show some growth and you need to give some equity and you need to be very patient. You need to be that tremendous patient. Now, how you'll find the angels is do your online resources, attend events, and leverage your network. You grow and connect with more people with funding opportunities and avenues who have a good investing backgrounds. And then, or you can just hire a mentor or a person. So first, you need to do your research, find the create a pitch desk, find the investors, make the ask, pitch them, and negotiate and close the deal. Right. So these are the benefits of angels. They are more flexible, and they will have they're willing to invest in the structure of the deal. They define the structure of the deal, and they have a personal interest in seeing the business succeed. And angels typically invest their money, so they're more likely to understand the risks. And angels may more willingly to mentor and support other investors. And angels are often a part of a large network of investors, so they can connect you with another investors also. So now here, what are the things you need to ask from the investors? Like here are the things you need to understand. What type of business the investor is keen into, and why they invest in the company, in our company, and what do you think is the risk of their company from our company from their point, and what do you think is the biggest opportunity of our company, and then like the most important focus the company has to make right now rightly, and what is the biggest challenge facing right now, and what is the complete advantage of our product, and how and what involvement aspects the investors will be with us, and what resources they will provide, and what companies, other companies they are investing in. Now here is the roadmap. You need to create a pitch deck. The pitch deck, let me show you the pitch deck to get an idea about the pitch deck. I'll show the link here. Now is it visible? Am I visible? This link is visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
It is visible, sir.
Now, yeah. So here we need to know about a pitch deck. So a pitch deck is a presentation, more specifically about which tells about the product, its brand's product, the target market, the potential clients, and how we get the investments to grow a business, a company. All these details should be there in your pitch, in your presentation. So it's a series of slides with information about the product, the potential profitability and forecast. However, it's for a potential new investors. You need to have Series A and Series B and Series C, right? So here there are some lists that are given by the pitch desk. Here is one from Foursquare, which tells about only the revenue model of the lead generation. And another pitch desk about from BuzzFeed, it talks about the split ups of the technology perspectives, right? So now here, you need to have your graphs, your examples, charts, and the other types of storytelling, which can make the slides pop. The right tool will include these elements in the pitch deck without a presentation. And you want to have an engaging structure. So it should be a storyline. It should start with why the company exists, what your products are, and where you see the company in the future. So the past, present growth and the future expansion you are into. So you need to grab the attentions. So you need to be very clear with your statistics and visuals to be very impactful. And you have a lot of AI tools with the pre-made templates. You can just build them and select. And you have a lot of collaboration tools also to do your pitch. And you should be consistent with your brand. Every now you should not at any point lose your brand. So the brand should be visible at every point, and its impact at every moment, right? So there are 10 pitch deck tools famous that I have given here in this article. The first one is Visme. The second one is Paste by vTransfer, and the third one by name Present.ai. Likewise, a lot of tools that are available for getting your pitch deck available. Now, we look into what are the things that might be covered in a pitch, as I shown you. So you need to explain your idea, team, business model, and competitors. So it is very important to prepare the desk very clearly. It must be simple and persuasive to cover all the key elements of your business. It's again a very first task. It will be a bit tedious at the first time. When you keep on like iterating them, you will be again learning. It's much like how you do your research, your PG dissertation or your PhD. At last, you start clueless with some glue idea, with a glim idea, and then as time goes on, you will be just fine tuning them, right? So you need to tell about your demand. If you have a prototype, it's well and good. An explainer video is well and good. So you do a prototype, you present about your prototype, it will be very easy to convince the investors. And finding the investors and presenting them and getting the funding done. Now, this gives the top 28 pitch decks from the cloud startups. So this links I'll share. This link also will share in the chat window for you to have a follow later. Right. So this is from pitch deck from cloud startups called as Aircall. So with 13 slides, we'll see how it is being done. So they give their idea is to create an integrated voice platform that will replace phone systems. So this is Aircall. So here they tell about how businesses are using the phone calls, right? Emails, chats, docs, AWS, and Aircall. Now, customers have to choose between 3 types: cloud-based phone systems, contact center software, CRMs, and help desks. And there are the 3 benefits: is cloud-based for what are the provisions they give, and contact center software is what they give, and CRMs what they give. And why customers come to them? So because they bring the context to each call, other software and data sources that which doesn't being provided. So they have created a voice platform that connects to all business tools, right? It's a very fantastic idea to integrate all the business models like phone, Gmeet, laptops, and other types of Netflix and kind of other stuffs. Now, we have started to create the ecosystem for voice, and we have built a solid growth engines. So here they have the indirect sales, outbound sales, and inbound sales, and high velocity sales model. So they give the predictable sales cycles, and they give about the gross retention and net retention, and resulting in growing and healthy cohorts. And they give the current valuation, and this is about they've given their pitch. Now we see the other likewise also. So getting about Dropbox, the MySQL company, and Cloud Coffer, etc. Right? So this goes about how we will do the pitching, pitch desk, and how to create the pitchings in the pitch deck. With this, and this is the startup funding cycle, and then this particular link is again a brief illustrative about startup funding stages and each how each Series A, Series B, and Series C works with. And this is a pretty handy one to get to know about which I've shown, which I've been explaining all these things. And how this works with Series A, Series B, and Series C, and beyond, and about your IPO. So it tells about each aspect with some ideas about each one of them. So this it's worthy to go through to get an idea about each stage with the corresponding funding of that particular stage is being consolidated here in this particular link. Right? So here, having this particular slide, it shows the startup financing cycle. This is your revenue. You can get it from co-founders, from angels, friends, family, and promotes. This is for your seed capital. From early stage, we get Series A, Series B, and Series C. Either things you can get equity and crowdsourcing and crowdfunding. From venture capitals, acquisitions, mergers, and strategic alliances. So this is first, second, and third, and later stages, and finally go to the IPO for the public model from the secondary offerings. Now, this here gives you the list of top venture capital firms in India. I'll share this particular link as well. You can just refer them at your time. Now, these are the venture capital firms. So CQO Capital India comes the first in the venture capital. So they work with companies like Absolute Fools, A. So they concentrate on early stage venture and late stage venture. The companies they are concentrating on healthcare domain, and some of the profitable companies they have already invested is Bounce and Tabby. So this is for the year 2023. So this is updated in June 30, 2023. So this is startupsevent.com, the site, this picture. And the next one is Bloom Ventures. They invest on agri-tech, clean tech, SaaS, and they invest on early stage venture and seed. The notable companies are Virohan and Stage Revolve. Then Matrix Partners, they look on enterprise and fintech. Again, they go for early stage and later stage and late stage ventures. Park Plus, Savio, Simcard, Zipmart, these are all the companies they are already into. They are making some profitables. Then Kalari Capital, they are concentrating on healthcare and clean tech, and they look at early stage and late stage and seed, even they seed. So the Clean Electric, Studio Sira, Tring, and Alma Better are the companies that are successful from their VC, right? So having seen this is the top angel investors of India. I'll share this particular link as well. Like this is the top angel investors of 2023 from India. I'll share this link. Right, you can see here the top investors of 2023, the angel investors of 2023. So they give some brief about the funding cycle, the funding financial report which has shown you had been consolidated here. So the first one is Aman Gupta, the founder of D2C Unicorn Boat. The second one is Amya Pathak of Coinbase. And third one is Anand Chandrasekharan from General Catalyst founder. And the fourth one is Anand Kumar from Pair Council. Next one is Anas Ahmed Zunaid, the founder of Hurin India, and Aniket Jain, the founder of Fino, and Aniket Kedia, the founder of Capital A, and then Anubhav Mittal, which it's been famous in appearing in Shark Tank, and Arihant Patni from Patni Financial Advice, and Vicky Koshla. So the founder of Vicky Koshla, the Trade India founder, Vicky Koshla, and Dhruv Agarwal, the CEO of REA India, and Dhruval Sangvi, that's the founder of Loginex, and the list goes. So we can just go there, right? So given a time of 1 hour to concentrate on the angel and sorry, I've missed my presentation somewhere. Am I visible? Am I visible? Am I audible? Am I visible? Can you hear me?
Sir,
Yes,
sir, you
sir.
are audible. Sir, you are audible and visible also.
Fine.
But slides are not there, sir. Slides are not
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Give me some time. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
It's loading. There's an error. Sorry. I just won't come here. How is it visible?
No, sir, it's not visible.
1 second.
Yeah.
Let me start
Yeah.
the presentation again. I need to stop the
Sure, sir.
presentation. It's not presenting. Again, there's a problem in sharing. Okay. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Now it's
So
okay.
yeah, I've given the links of all the these. I'll be happy to take it up, and at any suggestions and feedbacks, I'll be happy to hear from. Okay. Thank you very much. I've shared the presentation and the links of each of this thing is available in the presentation. Thanks for your patient listening. And again, I just dedicated to all my teachers. Whatever have been uttered is from their words I have spoke. Thank you very much, and wishing all a great success for all the faculties and students who are keen and abreast in their startup dream and to make it a success. My hearty wishes and my supports ever.
Entrepreneurs. Now I would like to give a brief introduction about ISC. The Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India has established the MDR Innovation Cell to foster the culture of innovation amongst all the higher education institutions. The MIC has envisioned encouraging creation of institutions innovation council across the selected HIs. The vision of ISC to be a hub of innovation and creativity, driving the transformative solutions that address real-world challenges and contribute to the advancement of knowledge and technology. Mission of ISC innovation and collaboration among student, faculty, and staff. Support projects, startup with resources and mentorship. Encourage interdisciplinary idea exchange. Bridge academia and industry via partnerships. Adopt learning amid tech progress. Nurture skill innovation professions.
Yes. Uh, We are pleased to have Dr. Doraiswamy Surendran as our chief guest. Dr. D. Surendran is the CEO and founder of SKS Skill Fasteners Private Limited, a social entrepreneurship focused on upskilling, startup mentoring, soft skills, life coach, digital transformation, consultancy, DPIIT, recognized startup, innovation ambassador, SIH mentor of a runner team. Digital transformation expert, experienced industry expert, startup mentor, and life coach. Former head incubation center, he has actively addressed more than 300 events for IIC and the startup community. He is also associated with Startup Culture Community, MAF, BIF, TNAU, and Cultivate. Dr. D. Surendran has completed his doctorate in Information Communication Engineering in Anna University, Chennai, 2011, and has a teaching experience of 25 years in various reputed institutions of Coimbatore, which includes Government College of Technology, Sri Ramakrishna Engineering College, Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology, KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology, PPG Institute of Technology. He has supervised 9 scholars for PhD and 11 currently pursuing PhD. He holds 2 published patents. He has authored more than 70 articles in reputed high-impact international journals. He is a part of organizing team of 10 international and 2 national conferences. His extensive expertise and impressive accomplishments make Surendra Sir an invaluable asset in the field of computer science. We are honored to have him as our guest speaker today.
Thank you, Shravani. Now, I would like to initiate the vote of thanks on the behalf of the IIC team. Firstly, I would like to thank our esteemed guest, Dr. D. Surendran, for giving us invaluable industry insight of how early-stage entrepreneurs can thrive and reach newer heights. Your guidance could prove to be a turning point for many budding entrepreneurs. I would like to thank Faculty Coordinator Dr. P.V. Nandankar sir for providing us a platform to hold this wonderful webinar and gracing us with your valuable presence. And last but not the least, I would like to thank you, our amazing audience, for lending us a patient ear and bringing this webinar to fruition with your active presence.
Startups are the engines of innovation, the catalysts of change, and the embodiment of the human spirit's endless pursuit of progress. To all the aspiring entrepreneurs, join with me. Remember that your ideas have the power to shape the future. Embrace these challenges, seek out collaboration, and let your passion guide you. Each success story becomes an inspiration, propelling others forward on their own journeys. I wish that yours become one such journey. I hereby conclude this event. I thank all the participants for their valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you again, and thank
Thank you, sir.
IAC.
Thank you, sir.
And I given my contact details here, shared with you for any time. I'm always happy to help the startup community. My fullest efforts in bringing all the successful and to make India the best destination for startups.
Okay, sir. Okay, so I request all the participants to please turn on their video for a group photo. We'll have a group photo, sir, with you, sir.
Sure, please, sir.
So I request all the participants to please turn on their video for a group photo. Participant, please turn on. We'll have one group photo with sir. Yeah. Some people are turning on. Right. Okay. Just a minute. Taken. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir, for coming here.
Welcome, Professor. I'm really welcome. I'm
Okay,
delighted. Wish you all thanks. I enjoyed this session really. Wish you all students
Same here,
great
sir.
success. Thank you, students, and
Thank
thank you, organizers. Wish you all a happy weekend. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.